Okay, hello, I think we are live. Welcome to Geek Battle. We've got so much to discuss today, I am sure. There's been a new Spider-Man film out, and a lot of other stuff, and rumours and reveals, and, well, we'll discuss it and so much more after the intro. The intro didn't work, we're going to try that again, and think warm thoughts.
Welcome to the Geek Battle Zone. We discuss comics and puny minds are blown. We debate Marvel versus DC, Skeletor, X-Men, and Ron Weasley. Judge David slams down the gavel and Cap dreams of Henry Cavill. It's a Geek Battle stream, nerd rage as we assemble our Geek Avengers team. Welcome to the Geek Battle party. We are the Justice League and our Batman is Marty. Sick Hitler's a Tim as movies are greenlit. Every new movie, Dad's already seen it. Xbox, Star Wars, and Star Riders. He-Man, Star Trek, and David loves spiders. We battle as Morrow and Disney look bleak, and we try to crown the Geek of the Week. It's the Geek Battle Show. Welcome to the Geek Battleground, where we use the Force and the One Ring is found. Cap is wrong about Resident Evil 6. Everyone watch out, cause oh shit is big. Gerald and Tim and Diz will try to win at the Geek Battle quiz. David and Dave will confuse their crew as they dive in the TARDIS of Doctor Who. Watch out now, we're full of hot takes. Dr. Courtney is garbage, but Red Dwarf is great. You love Sega, I love Nintendo, but in the Geek Battle, we are all friendos. Oh, it's a Geek Battle show. Oh, the Geek Battle show. It's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Geek Battle show.
You might be muted. I can't hear you.
I am no longer muted. Thank you, Tim. I was saying we are here. We have. I am unmuted now. We have gained a cap. What more could we possibly want on this, the 30th of July? So, Cap, hello.
Hello.
Oh, it was just a hello, but okay, Cap, so do your intro. Go for it.
I was just saying hail, that's why I cut it short. But hailing from the land of leopards, elephants, and crocodiles, it's me, Capel Dave, and I do not have a geek fact. Okay, this kid can be considered a geek fact. So the original Hulk, the reason why the Hulk was actually born, Banner was actually experimenting to create Captain America, basically recreate the super soldier serum that was lost ages ago. But while they were doing that, unfortunately, he had a gamma accident. So when you expose super soldier serum with the gamma accident, you become big, green, and mean, apparently.
Okay, well, do you know what? I didn't know that. I didn't know that originally they were tying it into the Captain America story.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's what Banner was officially working on.
Okay, well, interesting. Well, yeah, he kind of overproduced them, to be honest. Because...
Yeah, in the animated Ultimate Avengers movie, he's actually trying to find Captain America again so he can rework the serum and he can control the Hulk. And he briefly does, but then the Hulk burns through the serum that he modified because, like, the matter he got, everything kind of died.
Probably therapy would work, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's anger.
Well, anyway, there we go. Thank you very much, Cap. Tim, say hello to the people.
Hello to the people from North Kingstown, Rhode Island. My geek fact of the week is Lin-Manuel Miranda turned down the role of Vulture in the Spider-Man Homecoming series. And it went to Michael Keaton instead.
So who turned it down?
Oh my god, we could have had a rapping Vulture!
Lin-Manuel Miranda, the guy who created Hamilton play.
Oh, okay.
He
Wow.
was offered the position by
My name
Kevin
is Vulture,
Feige.
and I'm here to kill Spider-Man. I can't make that work anyways.
No, go with it, Cap. Go with it. I want to hear that.
I think we should all rap as Spider-Man. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Tim, it's over to you. No, I'm joking. Right. Okay. We can, but I will slay you guys. I will slay. But okay.
I wouldn't be surprised how good I can slay.
Okay, we might do this later.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
so speaking of Spider-Man, now I won't go into spoilers. I have seen Spider-Man Brand New Day. Have either of you guys seen it?
I haven't seen it yet. I heard it was good though.
It was very good. I would say it's the best superhero film I've seen in years. It was really, really good.
Is it better than before the Spider-Man before?
Oh, okay, here comes Dave. So I'll let Dave in and then we'll get in on the chat. Dave! Say hello.
Hi.
That's Dave. Now, Dave, do you want
They say hello, not hi.
to... Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I forgot the script. Can I try that intro again?
Yeah, go for it.
Hello. It is great to be here on the Geek Battle with all my friends. And they are my friends no matter how much David pays me.
Okay. Right.
That was
You're getting paid to say that?
Apparently so, yeah. It's either that or I get shot. I don't know.
Yeah, there we go.
coercion.
Now, Dave, we were literally just getting into... I have seen Spider-Man Brand New Day. Have you seen it yet?
Watched it last night.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought I'd be like the lone one here who may have seen it to be able to give some non-spoiler kind of views. What did you think? I just literally said I thought it was the best superhero film that I've seen in a long time.
I would agree it's a good Marvel film that's been out for a while. I was thinking last night, like my walk home, is like it was good, not great. It was good for what it was. Out of the, if I compare it to the other three films, I would say it's kind of the weaker entry of the Spider-Man movies that we've had so far. Because I felt like, and maybe a little bit, I just felt like the story was a bit all over the place, a little, because this isn't really a spoiler sort of thing, but they introduce a plot point, it's gone.
Oh,
Here's
spoiler!
another plot point, gone.
Yeah, okay, I know exactly
Yes.
what you mean. Okay, so I was thinking about a similar thing earlier, in that of the Spider-Man movies, it's definitely not my favourite. In fact, and look, it was very. I still stand by that. I think it was the best. I'll look up to see what else there is I'm forgetting. I know Deadpool and Wolverine was good, but I don't know what since then I've actually thought was actually a good movie. In fact, there's only been Thunderbolts and Captain America: Brave New World in between. Wow, that's crazy. That was a couple of years ago. So, and Fantastic Four as well. Yeah, right. But anyway, so I would say I probably enjoyed this more than I did the original Spider-Man: Homecoming. But probably not as much as Far From Home or No Way Home. And it was
definitely enjoyable.
I probably liked it about as much as I liked Spider-Man 3. But nowhere near as much as Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. And I probably did prefer it to Andrew Garfield's movies.
I would say that I'd argue that I would. Yeah, I'd watch an Andrew. I was about to say Arnold Garfield. Andrew Garfield movie again.
I am the Spider-Governator.
I will save the Gwen before she dies.
With great power.
Chopper, Gwen.
Get Captain Stage into the chopper.
With great power comes great responsibility.
I definitely watch an Andrew Garfield again more than I would watch this one again. So I said, my missus actually said to me, "Do you want to go and watch it again?" And even a friend today asked me, "Do I want to go and watch it again?" And I just thought, it's not really one that stuck in my mind so much. Not like Deadpool and Wolverine or Far From Home, or Far From Home, No Way Home, not Doomsday, the Endgame.
Yeah.
Seeing all of them, I will go and watch again. But this one, not so much. I just felt a bit lost at points. And like I said, they had a really good plot point that they could have had and kept throughout the story. And it was there, but it was kind of like an underlying sort of thing, as opposed to, no, this has to be done.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm referring to.
Yeah, 100%. What I would say, and again, you can kind of get this from the trailers. So all of the past Spider-Man films, when you've watched the trailer, you've known who the bad guy is. This one is kind of like, oh, there's Scorpion, there's the little red ninja group, whatever they were called, the Hand.
The Hand.
Right, but I was like, this isn't really selling me on this, right? So it's like, what's the bigger plot going to be here? And truthfully, I'd feel that the bigger plot, like, other than what obviously is the big thing in this film, which I won't give the spoiler about, even though I bet everyone already knows, right? I won't say the spoiler. Other than that, I think this is a film where if you were saying, oh, I'm going to watch all of the Marvel films in the next 3 weeks to catch up before Doomsday, I'd be like, you could probably skip this one. Because as fun as it was, as good as the action was and everything like that, it wasn't like No Way Home when you were like, oh my god, they brought in all the Spider-Men. I didn't come away like absolutely pumped with that they did. Oh my god, the things they did. It was just like, yeah, Spider-Man's back, and it was really good. It was really fun.
I'd say as well. The thing I would say a good point in it is that I enjoyed the chemistry of Tom Holland and John Bernthal together. Those two together, I found myself laughing when those two were having banter together, especially. And I wish, like I said with the Doctor Doom thing, I kind of wish they kept it as a surprise.
Well,
I kind of wish they just having the Punisher be there. That should have been like a little we got another character in it. It's really fun, And the way, like I said, their chemistry is really funny. The back and forth they do is really funny.
I reckon though, John Brenthal's like, look, I haven't had a movie yet. You can't I need to at least be in the trailers and stuff. But no, they have because look, there is no history between those characters in this universe before this movie, is there?
No.
But they imply it that they obviously know each other, because on the trailer he's like, "Come on, Frank," and stuff like this. And yeah, they have a great bromance throughout. So
I mean, technically they are in New York, so he probably heard of the Punisher, and Punisher would have heard of.
But what I mean is
they do reference a point that they have met.
Yeah.
In the MCU, they don't show it, but they have a talk. Is it really a spoiler if I say what it is? They just mention it, don't they?
Well,
it's not really a spoiler,
for it. I think it's a next to nothing spoiler, so you may as well.
Yeah, so basically, they have this little banter thing in there where they go about something on Staten Island. Something happened on Staten Island, and either side they go, "Oh, do you remember the Staten Island incident?" And they keep mentioning that throughout it, and that's the only confirmation we know that those two have met.
Yeah, no, but what I was going to say is it's kind of like if you think back to what I guess it would have been like Civil War or something, where like Falcon sees Ant-Man and they're like, well, this time I'm ready for you and stuff like that, and they have some banter about something that happened in the past. Punisher and Spider-Man's banter about what happened in the past, and because Ant-Man and Falcon met in Ant-Man. And so we had seen it. So Punisher and Spider-Man speaking about what happened in the past almost makes you feel like, oh, when did that happen? I can't remember that. But literally, they've just invented it. It's not something. There is. Yeah. They have launched straight into these characters knowing each other without establishing it or showing us how they meet. So, and you don't always have to do that. You don't always have to show how every character meets. You can, and they do that so much in these movies where, when characters meet each other, like when we got to Avengers Infinity War, and suddenly Doctor Strange is meeting everyone, they kind of put it over as if he'd never met any of them before, which feels, in a sense, quite unlikely. That they would have never come across him or investigated or just had the awareness that there's this thing that's been running for probably centuries or whatever in New York, and there's always these different ancient ones and stuff like that. But yeah, they
It depends, I guess, because like if you look at the Avengers movies, right? Nick Fury clearly says the reason why Shield started experimenting on the Tesseract is because Thor came on, and then they had no idea how to deal with the Destroyer and all the Thor shenanigans. That's why they started doing all these things. But then they
Captain
retconned that
Marvel!
because like. Yeah, so because Samuel Jackson has met Captain Marvel and know aware of these aliens and things like that. So what he said on Avengers became bullshit. But of course, that's because they added that canon.
I don't acknowledge Captain Marvel as a film.
The weird
like
thing
the
is
first
that
one.
they keep going back and
It's
forth
fine.
with this. So if Thor was like the introduction of magic and things like that, and even sometimes Iron Man would dispute that, then if you bring in Doctor Strange and if you acknowledge that S.H.I.E.L.D.'s been aware of that and there are also alien shenanigans and things like that, then it does make the previous history kind of muddled a bit. So like, what the fuck are you talking about? Nick Fury just called Captain Marvel. Why do you need the Avengers? Like you don't even need the whole thing.
This is the problem. The great choice they made with Captain America: The First Avenger is it was set in World War II, and then it kind of implied that until Iron Man, there wasn't any of this kind of superhero shenanigans going on. Captain Marvel made it so it's like, well, yeah, they had Captain Marvel in the 1990s. And then suddenly it's like the Eternals meant that, oh yeah, we've always had these superhumans around and other stuff going on. And it's where they start, and so many other things that actually have done that along the way. Because even they implied that there was, the original Ant-Man and the original, Black Panther, his father. And, there was tons of superheroes. It's like, why'd you start needing
Black
things?
Panther you can kind of get away with because not a lot of people know, and Wakanda has taken great lengths to make sure that nobody knows.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. But anyway, coming back to Spider-Man.
Yes.
I thought the way they progressed the story from the last movie was good because obviously the last film about everyone's had their memories erased and that, and how they would address this and move things on without giving any spoilers. They handled it in the right way where it didn't just ignore it, it didn't just undo it, but it meant that there will be there's still places to go with it. It was okay. Something. Is this a spoiler to say a character that wasn't in it?
If this is what I'm thinking of, then probably not.
Okay, so there's no.
Volume down.
Sorry. Well, Tim?
I'm going to turn my volume down so I don't hear.
Okay, right. We'll get off this soon, but so there's no J. Jonah Jameson, which I was really
no, there isn't.
I thought at some point this needs to move Spider-Man into the Daily Bugle and have that whole side of his character, which is a massive part of his character.
Yeah, I'm shocked that they haven't done that.
Doesn't Jameson run a vlog now?
But
the last two Spider-Man.
That's what they did, but so the Daily Bugle just isn't a thing, and the whole point. So it's just like Superman. It's like, well, why is Superman working at the Daily Planet? It's so that he can hear about things that are going on and stuff like that. Same with Spider-Man. He's going out. He's following the news. He's getting photos and stuff like this. Like, how is he even earning a living? Like in this movie,
I'd say when this is probably a thing that maybe affecting it as well. Is the Spider-Man game that came out, the Marvel Spider-Man. They did a similar thing with Jameson. He was running a blog, like a vlog sort of thing, or like an audio radio thing, because he wasn't affiliated with the Bugle. Because I think he says at one point that he's gone independent because he was fired from the Bugle. So I can understand that reasoning why. But at the same point, you're right. Yes, but Spider-Man and the Daily Bugle sort of go hand in glove. Because Peter doesn't earn a lot of money. So I do ask. How the fuck is he earning that money for that apartment? They never explain it.
They never give anything on it. Although I do like, and again, this is a nothing spoiler, because it shows that he's living in kind of like digs, basically.
Yeah.
And it shows that there's like a girl. I thought they were going to literally do the thing from Spider-Man 2, There's the girl that
yes.
fancies him. It's like one line. She's just like, oh, I live in the same building as you. And he's like, oh, right. And he just ignores her. And I was like, this is so the unrequited love of the girl he should have ended up with instead of MJ.
Well,
they just didn't follow her.
My Mrs. Besh's, she sat next to me. She was like, oh, that's going to be Gwen Stacy. And I looked at her and went, no, it's not.
No.
That's not going to be Gwen.
No. Okay, go on, Cap.
So, interesting thing about Superman and his Daily Planet thing. So the new Superman show kind of did a funny thing that I like. I mean, like, the show is not that great, but there's a funny bit that I like is that the Daily Planet is actually going out of business. And they're just finding a way to somehow stay afloat as all pen newspapers are going out of business. Jimmy Olsen starts running his own Superman media thing called Flamebird. And the funny thing is, it becomes such a hit. It's a running gag throughout the entire animated show, and then finally becomes such a hit. Perry says, I'm going to buy the Flamebird. And it's like, no, you can't. It's mine. And I said, okay, then I'll sue you for all the resources that you use. Okay, fine, buy it. And then Flamebird becomes the new Daily Planet, which I thought that was kind of a funny thing that they did, because you kind of have to evolve the jobs now, because it doesn't really make sense. I mean, everyone's got a camera now, so, if he really wants to stay afloat with the news, it's better to actually multiple online sources instead of just going to one paper that actually has some sources, instead of just cross-referencing with all the things that is coming through satellites and things like that. My guess is Peter's probably running multiple YouTube channels in the background.
Well, maybe they did establish that he has a YouTube channel or something about YouTube when they first showed him in the original, but I don't think that was his. But, okay, so something that's interesting just on this front, because this is a non-spoiler because they don't really discuss it in the film. I feel bad for Tim, because I'm like, this is a non-spoiler.
Now you guys know how it feels.
Yeah. But like,
I don't care.
Oh, well, okay, well, anyway. Well, perhaps later we can get into some spoilers on it. But what I was going to say is that there's tons of people in this that have got like Spider-Man merchandise, and we now know from like Thunderbolts that they literally copyright names and stuff like that. So is he getting some royalties somehow? But the other thing that isn't addressed enough is that they obviously, look, it was COVID. There was pandemic. They were like filming people on green screens to make the last movie. They clearly hadn't worked it all out, but came out with a massive hit just because they brought back Tobey Maguire. But the idea that everyone forgets who Peter Parker is, but they don't forget Spider-Man, because MJ's like, yeah, you saved me a bunch of times. It's like, wait, so you remember this, but you don't remember who he is. And then obviously it shows on the trailer he meets Hulk and stuff like this. So he meets other Avengers. And the other Avengers don't know who he is. And that they haven't quite clarified how the hell that makes any sense. Because from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they were like, oh yeah, we get money through Tony Stark. It's like, so is Spider-Man getting royalties on the side? And who's that check going to now? Right, but go on, Dave.
Finally, Sam getting some money, and he doesn't have to go ask a bank for a loan. Finally, he's getting paid.
I want to throw in a comic knowledge here. When it happened in the comics, when no one remembered who Peter Parker was, there was actually only one person who remembered. Because so the thing is that Spider-Man's identity got leaked after Civil War, so everyone knew he was that, and then Kingpin went after him. Went after Aunt May. He put on the back. Some things happened in between. And he made a deal with Mephisto, and he wiped everybody's memory. And the only person who remembered was the Hulk. And
why would that be?
I don't remember exactly the logistics behind it, but I know that the only thing I remember him saying was in the comic, the panel with him and Spidey together, was Spidey asks him, "Wait, you remember who I am? How do you remember?" And all they explain is the Hulk saying, "Banner forgot. I didn't." I assume that's just. I assume that's just. It puts that specific scene in perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
But yeah, it was fun. You know, it was a fun movie. It wasn't. I say it was good, but not great, in my opinion.
Okay, so just having Tim, are you back with us?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I just felt like I don't want you just to be sat there thinking like Jesus. We'll get off of this and on to some other stuff because, guys, we've had like San Diego Comic-Con. There's been announcements and all sorts that we can get into in a second since our last show.
Yes.
But what I was going to say is, in terms of what has come out, I would say Spider-Man: Brand New Day is a better film and a more solid film than what we got last year, which literally was the only film. No, we got Thunderbolts, Captain America, and Fantastic Four last year. So we got 3 movies. I would say all of them were all right, but this one actually felt like it was up a notch or two. It was a film that people will go back to a lot more. And so I'd say Deadpool and Wolverine, but like the thing is, even though there's been a lot of misses since Endgame, Spider-Man, of which I think he's had Far From Home and No Way. Yeah, he's had a whole trilogy now since that. Spider-Man has been consistently like good, and like the casting's been good. The villains, like this, well, I won't give spoilers for this, but generally have been good, and so yeah, I'd say Spider-Man is the thing that is most likely to lead the Avengers into the future, because clearly they're not going to stop making these. Go on, Tim.
I mean,
Go on, Tim.
I do want to say that if there are no like very important villains in this Spider-Man movie, we just had Project Hail Mary, which doesn't have very important villains. It's just sciencing the shit out of problems until the problem is solved.
The problem with Project Hail Mary was that I went to see it. I did not enjoy that film. It was. It's my own fault. It's my own fault, though. It was one of those films where I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to see it. I'm hearing such good things. And what was the film I saw recently? I've made a mistake where I tried to see films as blind about them as possible. Oh, what was that Steven Spielberg film recently? Disclosure Day.
Oh, Disclosure Day,
Both of these science fiction films, I've gone in thinking, I just trust that they're going to be really exciting, and they were really slow burn, both of them. Disclosure Day was a long chase sequence, but there was nothing else happening in it. And with both of them, I was just sat there, just like dying. And with Project Hail Mary, there's some fantastic stuff about the way they made it, but for what it was and for what it led to, I never want to see that film again.
I love the fact that Ryan Gosling can now turn into Ghost Rider and turn his entire rocket ship into a Ghost Rider rocket.
I'm just nervous. I have not yet seen a single Ryan Gosling film that has actually made me understand why he is a thing. And to me, that film sucks. Right, that is not a fun musical.
Just because they don't end up with a girl, David, you don't have to yell that it sucks.
Oh my god, right. The only thing I liked about La La Land is it was announced as winning the Oscar and then it turned out it hadn't. That was great. I have an aversion to Ryan Gosling for some reason. I don't understand it. But
I am not. I do think he's a good actor, but I am a bit worried that he can be like a good. Like I feel like there should be some bit of a loose cannon should be the Ghost Rider, like some like Nick Cage where there's a little creepy dude.
No.
Why, Dave? Why?
Right, there must be a good Ryan Gosling film that I've watched.
That is an interpretation, not the actual transformation. If you look at any comic book of the Ghost Rider's transformation, it's not that. It's like boom, done. The way that the only one that's got it kind of right is Robbie Reyes in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's it. They don't need John. When you transform,
he was like, I'm a troubled kid. I'm so angry.
Robbie Reyes as a Ghost Rider is 100% shit. I agree with you. Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider is a shit character. End of. But Johnny Blaze, it's not insanity. It doesn't drive you insane when you transform. It's just like boom, transformed. You're done.
No, I'm saying that I liked that element of it. It's
Wait.
like I like that he's a little bit of crazy. The spirit of vengeance being a little bit crazy, because like the funniest thing, the whole thing that I liked about Nick Cage being Ghost Rider, because he was muted as Johnny Blaze the most time, but you get little tiny moments when he's about to transform. He goes full on Nick Cage, and I enjoyed those two movies for those moments. And Ghost Rider is kick ass. It's actually. He and Lobo kind of fall into that same train of like kick-ass 80s motorbike gang.
Okay, so hang on, guys. All I can say is I've looked up Ryan Gosling, and I didn't realise he played young Hercules. So maybe there's hope for him yet. So there we go. And he was in Murder by Numbers. I remember that film wasn't that bad. So,
but I know you. Sorry, David.
No,
sorry.
Go ahead.
But I know your point, Cap, in that. You want that bit of insanity, but the Ghost Rider doesn't drive you insane. It doesn't do that. It like the whole transformation thing is that the spirit isn't insane. It actually is of a sound mind. It's like because during World War Hulk, when Johnny Blaze thought, "Oh, I can do something. I can stop him," the Ghost Rider literally says, "No, you're fucking not, because we avenge the innocent. We're not doing this," and Johnny tries to fight him anyway, literally dropping a building on the Hulk. It does nothing. And then Hulk just knocks him out. The real spirit of vengeance comes out. And then Doctor Strange and Iron Man, they're like, "Oh, this is great. But the spirit of vengeance is going to stop him." And Doctor Strange is like, "Yeah, no, he's not." And the Ghost Rider just stares at the Hulk, gets on the bike, and just rides away.
Bye.
Not because he's scared. Not because he's scared. As I said, he's the spirit of vengeance. And Strange makes the point that the Ghost Rider avenges the innocent, which we are not.
The funniest thing I liked, so that the whole insanity thing was a complete Nick Cage thing. It was a complete Nick Cage thing.
Entirely Nick Cage.
Yeah. The funny thing is that I liked about it is because the penance stare can actually kind of work on anybody in the Nick Cage movie established, because like even if you have a little bit of secret, maybe it's an illegal download that you're not willing other people to know, even if you have that tiny bit of guilt in you, the Ghost Rider can see it, and the penance stare will work on you. And I thought that was kind of a cool detail. That's why Nick Cage is always afraid that he shouldn't be around any people who kind of carries that non-innocent vibe at all, because like if the Ghost Rider sees that, of course he's gonna kill him. I thought that's kind of a nice, cool thing to it.
Well, here's the thing though, is that it only works in the presence of evil. So if you're doing something as small as tax evasion, it's not going to work. You're not going to see you're going to see all these bills just flying in your face in a penance stare.
Now, I would like that.
It works in the presence of evil. It doesn't. Although the penance stare doesn't work on everybody. It doesn't work on everybody. It only works on those that have a soul.
Is that why it didn't work on me?
People who actually feel guilt. and it only works on people who actually have guilt. And this is why like the good and evil thing is a very slippery slope, because morality kind of defined by different cultures. Like Asgardians probably don't have that same moral standards as human Earth laws does, because they're Viking gods. They're like kill for honor, battle, war, that kind of stuff. Here, that would be frowned upon, where in their culture, it would not be frowned upon. So it's kind of a slippery slope. And that's why I like that element where Ghost Rider's like, "Oh, you downloaded from Pirate Bay? Do you feel guilty about it? A little bit? Okay, then."
It give them a stern telling off. Is that, like I say, it's only in the presence of... It only works in those who have taken the innocent. He avenges the innocent. He is a literal avenger. He literally avenges those that people have had. Although, and I will say this, original Ghost Rider, original Johnny Blaze, never had the penance stare. Never had it. It was introduced in the second iteration with Danny Ketch. Danny Ketch was the Ghost Rider with the penance stare. When Johnny regained the Spirit of Vengeance, that's when it was able to do the penance stare, but it was never able to do it in his initial incarnation.
Also, innocent point on Terry Pratchett kind of made that. So in the Terry Pratchett book, Going Postal, there's a con man. He conned and gained a lot of money, and he gets caught, and then he sets up with the golem, and he has to pay for sins and all that. And he makes a point like, I never did anything evil. I never really actively harmed anyone. I just did like cons and stuff. And then the golem says, all of your cons lead to people dying in the end. You are responsible for 100 people dying, even without you knowing. So you must pay for those sins. And again, you can play around with this idea. You can make that thing, the Ghost of Vengeance, go a little bit of like, that Pirate Bay download led to this, and then it led to this. Dave, why did you download it? Now that puppy is dead. The Spirit of Vengeance must be avenged.
Well, anyway, what I was going to say is, coming off of Ryan Gosling, he's going to be in the new Ghost Rider, so that was announced. I was going to bring up some of the stuff, but for some reason my internet's being a little bit of a pain, so I don't know if I can actually bring up for us to see anything. But, yeah, so they announced San Diego Comic-Con, a couple of announcements, Marvel films. First of all, Ghost Rider. Second of all, Black Panther 3. Where I don't remember the actor's name. I think he was in the most recent Alien movie, though, as the cyborg guy,
Is he cool? Is he cool like Chadwick Boseman?
Well, no, I don't. Probably, I hope so. Right? If it is the guy, because I barely recognise him.
David Johnson.
Was he in Alien or Alien Romulus?
Let's have a look.
So I'm trying to think what I recognise him from.
David Johnson. Let's see his itinerary. Alien Romulus, he was in that.
Yeah. So he played. What are the robots called? The cyborgs or whatever in.
Well, it's just called androids, aren't they?
Are they androids?
They kind of are androids. The
I
other
know
ones
they
are
are
working
kind
Joes,
of.
but he's not a working
Synthetics.
Joe.
He's a synthetic.
Synthetic.
So he plays a synthetic in Alien. So you can't really judge his cool factor from playing a robot that barely has emotion. But I think he's playing T'Challa's son, who will become the next Black Panther during, Black Panther 3. Yeah.
Finally.
Which, I think that's a good way of handling it. You're not recasting Chadwick Boseman. Why they're not just continuing with Shuri, because she only just became Black Panther in the last few minutes of Wakanda Forever. They spent so long on that.
Is she probably going to die then? I think she's probably going to die.
I hope
she's probably going to die.
I hope not. not that, but at the same point, I think Shuri wasn't as popular. Like, she had, the actress and Shuri as the character herself had a huge thing to lift up from the popularity of Black Panther with Chadwick Boseman. So, of course, that might be an element into it. Yes, it's nice to see, someone taking up the mantle. I don't know. I found Wakanda Forever was a very weak movie anyway, just in general.
I think even that,
and I'd say as well, I'd say as well that I'm sort of on the sort of double-edged sword on this one. On the one hand, it's cool that we're getting T'Challa's son as the new Black Panther, but at the same point, I would have said, well, why didn't we just make him T'Challa? Why not recast T'Challa? Because this is probably going to be controversial for me to say, but I felt like when they did Wakanda Forever, they monetized the death of Chadwick Boseman in a way. That's what I mean.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I totally get it. No one's going to be as charismatic, as enjoyable as Chadwick Boseman. No one's going to be able to do that, just like no one is going to be as charming, charismatic, and funny as Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. No one's going to be able to repeat that. But at the same point, I don't see why you wouldn't try.
I think though, what a difficult situation they were in, because it was the first time, because obviously General Ross died, and then they recast it Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
he wasn't a title character. And so, for the idea, a guy, and I forget how old. Who played General Ross originally? After the name's William Hurt. Yeah, William Hurt
Yeah,
played
I
it,
think
right?
so.
You know, he wasn't super old or anything, but you got a guy who's playing the action lead, and he's like in the prime of his life, and he died. And it's just to suddenly just say, well, here's the new guy, because obviously they were in the time frame to make Black Panther 2. I think they tried to go down, because look what happened when Carrie Fisher died, like a week after Rogue One came out, and there's just this CGI Carrie Fisher, and they're like, oh, we're not just going to CGI, you know, this, and obviously they couldn't recast adult Princess Leia. But I felt like there was the aspect of, yeah, they probably did lean into it, but I think they tried to make it respectful.
Yeah.
But then, let me just quickly say,
Yeah.
but then you've got the problem of, so does this mean that we can never have T'Challa again? Because, you know, I don't want to name any specific character, but if a prominent character died, you know, well, look at Superman. So Christopher Reeve, he had his horse riding accident. And imagine if they said, well, we're just going to have to write out Superman. People would be like, oh, you can't do that forever, sort of thing. So it's like, but because it's an ongoing 30-film universe, it's like, well, how are you ever going to bring this character back? Does that just mean that... And like I've said in the past, how we haven't had an Iron Man film in 13 years. So that at some point they're going to have to look at, well, how do we recast any of these characters? But yeah, it was a difficult situation. I think it's interesting.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. But
I mean,
it's just the problem they've got wider than this one film.
Yeah.
You can still bring back T'Challa because you still have the multiverse bullshit on you, so you can literally recast and bring T'Challa back. I always recommend, no, do not let the characters... I mean, like, yeah, I know it's a Chadwick Boseman is a big legacy, him playing Black Panther as the last of his career, but, you know, give the new guys a shot. Like, if you just hogged on to these legends, it'll just, you know, ruin the character and also ruin their legacy in a sense. Like, it's kind of like, oh, so they did it when they died, so then... no more. We can't touch that. I don't believe in that.
But you know,
give other people shots.
There's like okay. So one of the things with T'Challa is they even if it was just a voiceover in What If, they had actually still got some performances of T'Challa in the can still to come out, which didn't come out for a year or two afterwards. And so then just like recasting him in live action, say, oh, but there's this one other thing here. That's one thing, but there's other examples. Like I'm trying to remember what they are now. But there was like the sitcom? Or what was it about dating my teenage daughter? Like 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter.
Yeah,
like the main actor that died. They put it into the show. Like Only Fools and Horses in the UK. The character of Grandad died. They didn't just replace the actor. They brought in Uncle Albert, which was, you know, a comparative character. So, you know, there's both versions of it, you know, where you could always just recast, but each one they have to make a decision on. Tim?
I think it's, in respect to Cap's statement, like, let's get some new actors in these roles. It makes sense to sort of bring different takes from different actors in these characters. I mean, look at Spider-Man. The first one was Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Toby.
Like, I don't know why I get Tobey Maguire and Frodo from the Lord of the Rings mixed up sometimes, but like those two guys are very similar.
Yeah, I get it.
And then you get
Toby,
Andrew Garfield.
Frodo, and also Daniel Radcliffe. They're all the same category.
Could you imagine like him on Mount Doom, like after they drop the ring, he just Tobey Maguire doing the Buddy Maguire dance as they drop the ring into Mount Doom.
And then the British Empire takes over Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield first, and then Tom Holland. So it's like these characters we like to see. We know what their framework is. Spider-Man is a lower middle class guy struggling to pay his bills, but also trying to be honest with the powers that he's given and be responsible, you know? So like, you know, maybe it makes sense to recast T'Challa, but I didn't see Wakanda Forever, and I don't know how they eulogized Chadwick Boseman, but whenever I saw Boseman on screen, I had it felt like he was playing this character in a way that sold it, you know, that like really gave it a presence. kind of like how they put John Bernthal in The Punisher. Like, yeah, of course he's going to be an angry white guy who's just going to kill bad guys, and like, you know.
I mean,
But
it's going to
Boseman
be
did a
really
good
hard.
job.
Even if you cast like a new actor, or even if the Black Panther's going to have a son, it's going to be so hard for that actor to actually like in the shadow of Chadwick Boseman.
Yes.
It's going to be really, really tough for people. I mean, like, I think Spider-Man had it easy in my opinion, because like nobody really enjoyed Peter that much. Toby's Peter, because he was kind of a crybaby, and
No, I don't think
most
that's
of his
true.
life were kind of a.
That's not
I
true.
think they enjoyed him a lot.
No, I think they loved him. That's what.
I
That's one of the
enjoyed
reasons
it.
why I think Andrew Garfield had a tough time.
Spider-Man 2.
I actually liked Andrew Garfield a lot more, because he was the high school kid more than I'm struggling millennial. I don't have money to pay.
All Andrew
my
Garfield
God,
did
I'm
was
sorry.
like
I'm fucking
whine.
sorry.
Yeah.
What is the point of Spider-Man? Words from Stan Lee is that Peter Parker has troubles.
Yeah.
That is the
I'm
point.
bored.
I think a lot of people. I think a lot of
It's
people
toxic
resonate
relationship.
with Peter Parker because we feel like we all have this power, and yet there's so like we feel like we can do this. You know, it's like,
I'm living it.
but there's so many things that just don't agree with that sense of self. It's like we have to struggle. Let me finish. We have to struggle with that and accept it, but also be the best versions we want to be because we want to see ourselves be those heroes.
Yeah.
It's also, I think it's a different style of how you actually, well, let's just call it what it is, abuse, really. Spider-Man life is basically abuse. So it's kind of a different styles of like how you deal with abuse in a sense, like most of our superheroes kind of go through. Again, Spider-Man's never my favorite in that department, because even in the cartoons he was kind of like a mopey person, but at least in the Spectacular Spider-Man, also the Ultimate Spider-Man, they kind of changed him up a little bit, where he's not that of a mopey person. He's kind of more like Spidey in a sense, cracking jokes and trying to deal with that whole thing more like with humor and things like that. I'm more in favor of those more than I'm gonna be in a church and rip out my suit and beg MJ to come back after she cheated on me for the bajillion times.
But
And Cap, you make me want to like bring up the idea like Chadwick Boseman chose a king. You know, like his character is responsible for a successful nation that is trying to hide its resources that they know could be dangerous to the rest of the world. So like there's a series of differences between these two characters, yet we can find actors to play these different characters and to also carry that story forward.
Yeah.
Which is just super cool.
Yeah.
But it's like,
I also like to make that point. Sorry, David. No, let me just make this point. The only point I'll make is that Chadwick's Black Panther is the best son that Mufasa ever wanted. Go on, Dave.
I was gonna say, but on that point, it's like the recasting of that. It's like if I got a phone call one day and Marvel said to me, "Hey, Dave, we want you to take up the mantle as the new Wolverine."
I thought you were going to say, if they say to me, "Hey, Dave, we want you to play Black Panther," I was like, "No, dude, you can't."
No, why would I go that way? That's
You
just
can't
stupid.
do that. Right.
Why would I do that? That's just stupid. That's why I chose Wolverine, dumbass.
I could see you being a very angry Canadian.
Yeah.
But you see my point? It's like could I do it the same way that Hugh Jackman did it? No, of course I can't. But I'd still give it a go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would play any if Kevin Feige called me up and then
Find me?
find me, yeah, I was like, find me, Kevin.
Find me.
Yeah, no, if he phoned me up and it was like literally, and he was like, "Look, Yelena's broke her leg. Can you take over the role?" I'd be like, "Yes, I can." I'd be like, "I don't care what the reaction is, just give me the check." You know, I would take any role.
Just imagine the hero pose. The camera's down, you land in the hero pose. The camera pans up. It's just your.
It's just me. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm Yelena now.
We had this discussion with my friends like after a little bit of school, and like I was gonna be an actor and things like that. So we were kind of discussing like what kind of roles I would be, and I was like, I think I'll be a great Wolverine. And my friend's dead center looked at me and went, "You are Brendan Fraser from The Mummy. That's all you can be. You'll never be Wolverine."
I'm not gonna lie,
Too
Cap.
smiley.
There, you know, I kind of believe him. I think you might have more range in you than that, but I think that is your ultimate role, isn't it?
He just
It is.
wants to be
It
Brendan
just
Fraser.
is. Okay, guys, here's a question. Here's a
He's
question.
in. He just be Brendan Fraser.
Forget about whatever
Rihanna tells dad
circumstances.
jokes.
Forget whatever circumstances lead to it. If there is like a character type, or a specific character, because say you was like Cap, you were gonna say, well, look, there's a new Mummy film, or there's going to be a movie which has the absolute vibe of the Mummy, and I'd want to play the Brendan Fraser style role. For any of you guys, what role would you want? Go on, Tim. Do you have one?
Oh, I'd say Cap is Brendan Fraser. That's
Yes.
full
Yeah,
stop.
it's to a T.
Right.
It's to a T.
Yeah.
That is.
I'll be the
100%.
I'll be the servant guy who Brendan Fraser is first fighting with, and then he becomes the servant of the Mummy.
Okay.
Like, let me be.
Oh,
let
yes.
me be- I want to try acting as like a weak but prominent henchman. Like, please, just give me that. Give me that role.
Amazing. Okay, Dave, what would you choose?
What are we talking for, like the Mummy?
No, no, Tim, you didn't have to be in the Mummy. I said like literally
Oh,
just
okay, never mind.
everything. Yeah,
And literally,
you'd
any
be
movie.
Rachel Weisz in the Mummy, right? You'd just be yeah.
No, that means that's because
I'd be the guy that gets eaten by the scarabs. You know, no. Literally, fantasy casting for yourself. If it's not a specific role, then what type of thing would you want?
I'd
would
want to be.
Oh, hang on, go on, Tim, go on.
Sorry, I'd want to be the henchman, like the sub boss. So you got like, you get like Kingpin, but who is his most effective enforcer?
Yeah.
I'd love to play that character, and then I'd love to get into like comedy after that. But like for me, playing the henchman would be kind of fun.
Do you know what? I could see you kind of as like, if you want to be a henchman, that's fine. But I can see you sort of like as the second in command in like a John Wick movie where you're just like in the background like this, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, you've got to watch that guy," and then suddenly you launch into
Tim is
action and
John
guns come flying
McClane.
out.
Tim is John McClane.
There you
Tim
go.
Don't get me
is
wrong,
John
That's a
I'd
great
McClane.
love to
role.
be the hero,
Yeah.
but I think it's kind of like I work as a firefighter and I love helping people out. So in my personal life, maybe I feel that role a little bit or I understand it, but practicing acting as a henchman would be sort of a fun exploration, especially in a performance. Not in real life, that would suck balls. But
Yeah.
sorry.
Go on, Dave. What would you choose?
I'd give a villain a go. I know I definitely try to want to give like one of the not like a cartoony villain, like an actual proper villain. You know what I mean?
No, I could see you more as a Loki kind of villain.
Yeah, exactly. Not charismatic and playful, but I'd say charming sort of thing. But that underlying thing of don't fuck with me, I will stab you in the balls if I deem it necessary.
Awesome. Gosh, I don't know what I would pick.
What about you? What about you, David?
I don't know.
Having met David in person, I'd say one of the dwarfs from Snow White.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm taller than you, Dave. Right.
No, you're not. I'm never letting this go.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I would probably, John McClane is a good one, or like something like Lethal Weapon, or just one of these action comedy buddy cop films that you don't get anymore. But like something that's a top tier one, like Lethal Weapon, like Die Hard, like Rush Hour. One of these things that's like a great mix of action and comedy. That would almost be like a dream role. But
I've seen a short film of David of you, and I think in one of your reels where you're like you had someone kidnapped or something, and you're talking about like you want to see it, and then the other guy's like, and then like you were kind of a bad guy villain who kidnapped someone.
Quite possibly,
it's one of your reels. Like,
I kidnapped someone.
I think you. I think it would be a very scary villain. Yeah, I think you would be a very scary villain.
Mostly, if I'm not playing an absolute like comic like clown, no, I don't literally mean clown, but like comedy like role, then yeah, I do often play scary characters, basically like a bit unhinged.
You'd be a great Moriarty.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Well, funnily enough, I'm playing a sort of ghostly character in a musical later this year.
What's the music?
We're doing A Christmas Carol as a musical, and I'm playing the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come and Jacob Marley.
Ah, that's cool.
And I have this proper long 20-minute long monologue as the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come. He'll be there for hours with the lines that I have for that.
Oh, amazing.
But if you want to cast David in a hero role, I would say take over every film that Hugh Grant is in as David.
David, not Dave.
Yes.
Me.
No, remove Hugh Grant and place yourself in it.
Wow. Okay.
I have a successful tavern business. Why would I be doing that?
Okay. Now.
No, I meant David. The other David.
Yeah, Dave, I would cast as the grumpy tavern owner who has a sordid history.
So pretty much what I do on a daily basis, then, Tim.
Well, like John Wick, but no one knows why. You know, like, and John Wick, when he sees you, he's like,
"Oh,
see, Dave, you pretend not to know him, but everyone knows you know.
Dave is the merchant in Resident Evil 4. Hello, stranger. I got some goodies for you.
No, because as soon as Leon would walk up to me, I'd go, "Fuck off."
I picture like a scarred, battle-worn like weapons master who's like, "Oh, the T-18. God, I remember when the recoil was twice the T-22. Man, that thing would rip your shoulder off."
What are you suggesting that it's just like that thing in Sonic where all these bottles and that behind me would just be like, right, orange mocha frappuccinos, and the balls just spin and there's just weapons everywhere?
No, you just got your favorite, you got your favorite little pet named weapon under the bar, and the rest of it, you just do your job and mind your business. Because of your sordid past,
he's Q from James Bond. Is that what you're saying?
I'm basically Q. I'm the gadgets guy. I'm the guy who gives Bond his fucking weapons.
Yeah.
with David, my experience with you is like you're very much like the coordinator of things, like deep in comms, deep in tech, like you're running these things. So I picture some kind of general, and you want to throw some comedy in it. So like, you're coordinating troops, you're making decisions at a high level, and you're sending people out, but you're also trying to David Fury, Nick Fury, that would work.
Yeah. I like that. I'm going to
wear
a
little bit less of like the leather trench coat with Samuel L. Jackson, but like you'd have your uniform and be squared away and be like, yeah, gonna start the Avengers again.
Yeah, guys, I'm putting together a team. Okay, now guys, I'm just gonna segue us a little bit here, just because there's a few other things. I shared it in the chat earlier. Oh, hang on, I need to reshare my screen here. So bear with, guys, bear with. Hopefully, I'll be able to share it. Bear with me, guys. Right, okay, good. So there is, I think, the first proper look of Jason Momoa as Blanca in Street Fighter. And we can see here a scene from it. Now,
God.
Something I was quite excited about last week. What was the trailer we watched? Was it Doomsday or something?
Yeah.
I didn't get flagged for it, so I don't know if
it looks like Javier Bardem.
I don't know if I can risk this. Let's actually try seeing this trailer and seeing if it...
I think I might have seen it last night as well. We had the pre-trailer before the film.
Wait, that's Jason Momoa is playing?
For you.
Let's see how badly I get beaten up for
Show me.
I'll tell you something funny. Is that last night...
Guys, sorry, just because the sound levels. Go on.
I'll tell you something funny. Last night, when the trailer came on, the person next to my wife, he literally said, "What's Street Fighter?"
What?
And I genuinely I actually did like a scene in a horror film. I just sort of went like that. I just stared at him.
How old was he?
What did you just say?
How old was this person?
He looked young enough.
Oh, okay.
It's like, what's Street Fighter? Like, are you fucking kidding me?
That's crazy. Okay, well, anyway, let's see what Blanca does here.
I do not wish to fight you.
Okay, now I see Jason Momoa.
Yeah, did he actually film anything for this movie? Because 100% of this looks just like it's CGI.
Probably he was in a green. Probably he
I
was
wonder
in a
if they
green
did
screen just
mocap.
going.
What can I say except
I mean,
I'm
look,
green
Jason
now.
Momoa. Obviously, it's with 5 years on or 8 years on since he was first Aquaman or whatever. So maybe he's like, guys, I can't be in quite blanker shape. But I think that he could have actually just played this with green makeup on. He didn't need to be 100% CGI.
Want you?
Why is who is he? He's not lying.
Yeah, Ryu.
Yeah, that's Ryu. I always say
Yeah,
Ryu.
I thought it was Ryu.
I thought it was Ryu. Who else did anyone think it was anyone else?
Well,
Ryu?
Ryu might work.
I
I
say
don't
it's
know.
Oh
Ryu.
no, the pronunciation. Now, the thing is, people say Ryu, but in the 1990s Street Fighter movie, they 100% pronounce it Ryu, which is the only time I'd heard it out loud until I literally did Geek Battle with you
How
guys.
does the Japanese pronounce it? How does the Japanese pronounce it?
Yeah, but look, whilst there is a point to that there, it's just like, do you have to launch into everyone else's accent just to pronounce something? So it reads Ryu, we say Ryu.
If it's cooler.
No, I think Ryu sounds a lot tougher than Ryu. Rai, Ri,
You.
But anyway, so I think it's interesting how they show that it takes him so long to conjure a fireball, though, because you would not win on the video games if it's taking you 7 seconds to get this one fireball ready. Hadouken!
Perfect.
Oh, it's coming during Halloween month. Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Nothing scarier than a green Jason Momoa.
I think it
Jason
looks
Momoa
fun.
after 6 tequilas.
I'm hopeful that might be a fun film. I don't think it's going to be a good film, truthfully, but I hope it'll be a fun film. I didn't think Black Adam was a good film, but I thought it was a fun film. So,
You know what I thought was a fun film I saw was Mortal Kombat 2 the other day, and I'm
I
like,
haven't seen
this
it.
is good, Like it was funny, it was violent, it was good. Like
is that the
everything
new
I
Mortal
expect.
Kombat 2?
Yes,
I
yeah, the
haven't
new
seen it
Mortal
yet.
Kombat 2.
Yeah,
And
I think it's on like Amazon. I need to check it out.
it was worth the time to see it.
My
still need to watch
favorite. My favorite is the animated film that they did. I think Scorpion's Revenge they did. That was awesome. They went full Revenge Scorpion John Wick on that film, and I was like, damn, that was so cool.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, that one was awesome. Oh, get over here.
Do you know, like...
I just like the games.
Sorry?
I just like the games.
What, Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, just switch my brain off for a few hours.
But
and
you,
just
am I right in remembering that you've never really played or got into Street Fighter?
never really got into Street Fighter, no.
But have you played any of it?
Maybe like a couple minutes of one of them. I don't remember exactly which one it is.
God,
I know I'm a terrible gamer. I should hang in my badge.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, the other day
I've
I
never
haven't
played
even had a
Street Fighter
chance.
2.
I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I got Mortal Kombat Legacy, but literally still in the wrapper.
I've never played Street Fighter either. I had a Street Fighter DVD, like this is like way before, where I don't know how to install games and all that stuff.
Tim, have you ever played Street Fighter?
Yes.
Yeah, come on, like guys, what's
Decades
going
ago.
on? Yeah, but come on.
I've been in Street
played
Fighter.
Mortal
I've never played Street Fighter.
My
I was
favorite
more,
was
more
the
violent.
uppercut.
I was more violent.
My favorite was-
I played
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
Was the uppercut and Scorpions Get Over Here. Like, those were the only two good moves.
Oh, in Mortal Kombat.
When I played.
Nah, Tim. The best move is when you duck and you kick.
No, I
Those
love
kicks look
I
so
love the
weenie. They look like
uppercut.
weenie kicks.
I love the uppercut, and then just some guy appears and goes, Toasty! Like this.
I don't remember that part.
When Cap and I played Injustice together, we actually came up with our super move, didn't we, Cap? we actually have a super move. It's called random bullshit.
I will pay for you guys to meet up and do the super move together.
I would pay for you guys to meet up and fight to the death. No.
No fighting.
I'll just press.
I can't carry this shit.
And I'll do Green Arrow.
Yeah. Okay, so another trailer here, guys. Jumanji
Cats
3.
in a half shell.
Want to check out it at all? We're gonna check out some Jumanji. Let's see. I'm taking some risks now with the channel. So.
That's my reaction.
I'm sorry.
I watched it yesterday.
Wait, you saw this trailer as well?
Yes.
You're doing a dev. You've already seen everything.
I can't do that. I can't do a dev. I literally it was in the cinema. I can't not help it. I don't choose the ads.
Oh wait. So have the characters escaped the video game?
Do you know him?
Spencer and I were both inside of him when we were
Apparently.
Dr. Bravestone, I'm so glad I found
Just
you.
wait for what the
Of course
Rock's
you
doing.
are.
Oh my
Because
God.
of my reputation. My charisma.
Oh my god, he's so skinny.
Yeah, Cap. Wait, if you listen to audio, you've got to listen to it with audio. What the Rock he's doing.
Playing himself for years now. Finally, he should branch
He's
out.
trying to act.
Who? The Rock?
Yeah.
Keyword there, Tim. Trying.
Do you know what? Like The Rock, he tried so hard with Smashing Machine to be like a serious actor.
Tried.
Well,
Damn rats.
Again, keyword. Tried. Just like I tried to be a gymnast.
I like the try. You know, you might as
hang on.
well. It's
like, why do the young people now look older than The Rock and Jack Black and Karen Gillan and Kevin Hart?
Hey, we have
Because
a lot
Karen
of stress,
Gillan
okay?
refuses to age. Let her stay that way.
But I suddenly
The
realised these are the young
two-quarter
people
off
that turned into them. These are the children that turned into them in the first movie.
We have a lot of stress, okay?
They look really old compared to The Rock and Kevin Hart.
this Christmas.
So did Daniel Radcliffe in Deathly Hallows. What's your point?
I don't know. Like, I liked the first one of these movies. The second one,
Yeah.
it didn't work for me.
Kevin
No.
Hart looks
Yeah.
like a baby.
Oh, Tim, there's a moment.
Okay, guys, let me just ask you something. How overdone is this shot in movies? Wait for it. This one. There. This. How overdone is that in movies now, where someone steps out, it's straight on, and then a car just plows them off the edge of the screen? Like, I think there was
Including
one in
this one?
Spider-Man today that I saw. They put them in absolutely everything.
Including this one, 4,999,702.
It's just so overdone.
0.15.
Oh, look, it's a giant portal in the sky. Yay!
I love how there's so many giant portals in things, yet that we've never had one in
Interesting.
real life ever. It's actually okay. So this is a fun thing, right? What are the things which you get so often in movies that it feels like they're real things, but they're not? Because one of them is where people just have like hologrammatic displays, like you see in Minority Report and stuff like that. There are so many of these things where it's just like hologram, and another one is obviously just like where people say like zoom in or just enhance this image, which doesn't
Creature
exist.
Yeah.
In heads.
Yeah, enhance, and then the portal in the sky. These things which we see in movies over and over again. Yet, if they were in one movie, it's like, oh, well, they made up something that doesn't exist. But these things which are just in so many, which just don't exist. Are there any other examples?
How all vehicles somehow have car keys inside them.
True.
The explosive tendencies of any transportation.
That's true. Actually, Tim's onto something there. Everything is combustible. Everything is combustible in a movie.
Also, bleeding. There's usually a lot of blood while they're still functioning, while that would not be the case. Either the blood would clot or they would be fainting. Because you can only
Sensitive henchmen.
Like the sensitive and
The sensitive and gullible henchman. Like, I'll get paid to fight this. I'll get paid by the villain to fight this guy, and then like the good guy just sneezes on him, and he like hits the wall and gets a concussion and dies. It's like, nah,
Tim,
it's
you
not.
bring up a good point that one of my podcast guests, Lindy Page, point out is that like the new James Bond, like he's gonna kill half of the world, and then people are like, what about my friends and family? Oh no, don't worry, they're included. What about my cousin in New Guinea? Well, he's not. Okay then. They turn and shoot the villain.
Okay,
What
so
else? There's...
I've just spotted a headline here, which is gonna. It's less. No, it's.
I swear, I didn't do it. I swear, it was totally
sorry.
legal. That
Yeah.
cat jumped in front of the car.
Now, this is one that's generally. I think you guys will have more out of this than I ever will. The only thing that's interesting, it says here Mike Flanagan. Now, I've been watching all of his shows recently. I've just watched Fall of the House of Usher, Midnight Club, and stuff like this. Haunting of Hill House and that. But apparently, he is now writing a live-action Warhammer 40k series that Henry Cavill is still involved in. Discuss, guys. Go for it.
Okay.
Ooh, let's see.
I think, pretty much everything I've seen that Mike Flanagan has done, I've really enjoyed. I literally just finished watching The Fall of the House of Usher, which, if you haven't seen it, is really good. And if you haven't seen The Haunting of Hill House, is one of the best shows that like Netflix have ever produced. But like Midnight Club,
I think
Midnight Mass, Haunting of Bly Manor. I think he did Doctor Sleep and a bunch of stuff. Usually ghostly stuff.
so. If you're going for like psychological, they could be going for that because like so Warhammer's not basically just Space Marines. You have like Inquisitors who go after investigating demons and corruptions and things like that. So I think they may be leaning on to the horror element. Maybe Henry is playing Isengorn, like the biggest Inquisitor series that's happening in the Warhammer booksverse. He could be like that, although not.
It's hard to know, isn't it? Because we don't know the specifics behind it. Because the world of Warhammer is fucked up. It is literally fucked up.
Too much.
I think if Henry Cavill's going to be in it, I guarantee that they're going to be Space Marines. You know, they wouldn't. I doubt they put someone like Henry Cavill as the Imperial Guard. Would you agree with me on that one, Cap? They wouldn't do an Imperial Guard story.
I don't think he would. No, they would do an Imperial God story, but I don't think he would put himself as an Imperial God because he even when people asked him like what he would like to be, and he was like this Space Marine, this Custodes, this Primox. He would definitely play some of the Emperor more than they already put his face on Titus, which is the game character. So far, all the animation projects have came out. His face is the Titus now. Which could be a thing because they might stay away from like the Emperor and his kids and just stay with Space Marines and then more grounded stuff. Because when you involve the Emperor and his kids, it kind of goes into like mythology a little bit because like they all have like weird fucking powers. So I think you can still make Space Marine grounded because like Titus, the Ultramarines are more grounded than what happened to David?
I think he's gone to look on the internet. I don't know.
We're still live.
Seems like it.
So if you look at like space, you can still make Space Marine more grounded because like the Ultramarines tend to not have a lot of wacky stuff going on for them anyways. You can still make them like the super soldier unit, the shock troopers that they deploy in the absolute circumstance, while there's always the god and all these like tiny humans running around trying to solve the problem. And then finally, when all goes shit hit the fan, the Space Marines drop.
Yeah, I'd say that they might do something similar to what they did in was that like an animated one-off, wasn't there, of the Space Marines taking one of their brothers?
Yes.
And yeah, I could kind of see a grounded sort of Space Marine story, but I think a lot of it might just be the effects, the wars, whether we're getting Tyranids, Orcs, Necrons, whoever the fuck we're getting. I just want it to be chaos.
I think because they're involving that director who is more into supernaturally horror stuff or the psychological horror. So I think chaos is probably the one that they're going to probably go with. Because we're used to like the Tyranids are basically, you know, the aliens, but then blown up in a bigger way. And then the orcs are basically fantasy orcs in space. So chaos is the only thing we probably
to quote Wargaz, Stop it, you kid!
Wouldn't it be cool if this was like, if they left it open enough to tie in Event Horizon to it, you know?
Oh,
Just-
The movie Event Horizon, is it connected?
Yes.
Sam Neill's going to appear.
The
Sam Neill just passed away. That was really sad.
It's not connected, but Cap might be able to explain better why Event Horizon is seen as connected with Warhammer 40k.
So it has been like favored among like 40k fans that the Event Horizon is how warp travel technically works, because like in Warhammer when they pass through like different planet travels, they kind of cut through hell. It's literally you going to another dimension, which is the warp, which is not technically hell, but it's mostly hell. So you go through hell and you pop out. And then Event Horizon kind of the same idea where they just travel to space and they try to do this thing warp, not exactly the warp thingy, but they were doing another thingy, which basically ends up hell.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool to connect those two.
Chaos.
Yeah.
I just want chaos.
Dave want to get blood for the
Not
blood
enough in your
god.
life already?
Blood for the blood god
cornflakes.
and milk for the cornflakes.
Okay,
Nice.
a few other little bits of... Well, is there anything in particular that we haven't covered that you guys are burning to discuss? Go on, Dave.
I was going to throw something out there. Like after I watched the trailer again after last week, and it got me thinking. Like we got the introduction of the, now we're getting the X-Men sort of thing, and we've got Nathan Summers and that as well. And something that caught my attention, something that's been nagging at the back of my head. The opening shot of the trailer shows a bright light at the beginning of it, right? So like what looks like or appears to be the sun exploding. My thought, this is initial thought, this is just my theory. This is just, take this with a pinch of salt or, mock me relentlessly for it. Shut up. my thoughts is that what if that the orange light is not necessarily the sun exploding or the universe falling apart? What if it's something tied to the X-Men, specifically the Phoenix Force? What if that orange light is the Phoenix? And the only, we don't know if I think, didn't they say in the casting we're getting their Jean Grey, like the older Jean Grey sort of thing? Because we're getting Doom's there and Nathan Summers is going to be there as well. Not Nathan Summers. What's his face? The kid of... No, not Nathan. Is it
Franklin Richards?
Is it Nathan? Franklin Richards. Thank you. Because he is a mutant. So what if Doom would harness him with the Phoenix Force? Because the Phoenix is a multi-dimensional being anyway. Yeah. So what if that is the Phoenix Force being harnessed by Franklin Richards, but controlled by Dr. Doom? As the Phoenix Force, the Phoenix Force itself is multiversal. It's omniversal. So it exists in every single universe.
Interesting.
So maybe that's something. That's what Doom is talking about.
Even in Wolverine and the X-Men, that's what kind of ends the X-Men there as well, right? The Phoenix going complete bonkers and killing everybody.
Not necessarily. That's when it was attached to Jean, when it learned emotion. It learned the emotions from her of love and hatred, and it solely focused on hatred, and it turned Jean into Dark Phoenix. So it isn't necessarily evil. It's actually a force. It's actually just a force. Sort of like how infinity and eternity are just beings. They're just there. They don't really do anything. They're there. The Phoenix is the opposite of that. So it does create life. It creates and it destroys. So what if like I said, this is just my theory. What if that is the Phoenix Force, not necessarily the universe itself dying?
I mean, it's going to be interesting just with what they're doing with the X-Men in total. I think Feige has said that the next phase is going to be somewhat X-Men as a big part of it.
You know why he said it? So I for like Clownfish TV kind of made that point. Like Feige was not really keen on the X-Men at all, but then they were able to do Deadpool and Wolverine, and that was a massive hit. And then Feige was like, "Oh shit, we're gonna have to do."
Before he was involved in, wasn't that his history? Wasn't Kevin Feige's career?
I'm not.
I gotta get going, guys.
I'm not sure.
Okay,
All right,
pleasure as always.
But
Love y'all. Bye.
I'm sure Kevin Feige was
Was
right,
the,
okay,
the,
hang on.
the old ones.
Wait. So wait, one
the
second.
ones with Bad Boy.
Yeah, he was like, wasn't he involved with those beforehand in some way? Yeah, X-Men, associate producer.
Ah,
Okay, but let me just quickly ask you something. Cap, do you care about the spoilers of Spider-Man?
nah.
Okay, well then this isn't really important to what you were just saying. Spider-Man, we already knew this. It was the worst kept secret in the world, but Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. And she is...
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. She is Jean Grey. So if you're saying about how they're now going to... For Doomsday, they're going to... And to me, that if you took out the Sadie Sink being Jean Grey in this movie, it would almost be a skippable movie. The introduction of her is obviously going to have to be something massive because she is the first X-Men character that they've recast into this world.
yeah.
And so now they're going to bring back the original X-Men. How are they going to deal with the fact that you'll have Scott Summers being like, shit, you're 25 years younger than me suddenly, right? And stuff like this.
Hooray!
Well, yeah, you might. You might, James Master's just like, all right, but yeah, they're going to have to deal with some of these aspects, which means it's going to be specifically interesting, if they're going to be dealing with anything Phoenix related, and I just feel like, do they do anything Phoenix related? Because it is a cursed idea. You can't. It has not been able to be done well on film to date. So
No.
just to do it at the beginning for 5 minutes of Doomsday to kill off the X-Men world, it will just be like, they cocked it up again. They only gave it 5 minutes.
I'll give you that. I will give you that. Like I said, it was just a theory. It was just playing in my head. I was running all these things that might happen in my head. With Franklin Richards and that as well.
They may well.
Because what crossed my mind as well with it is because Namor is also technically a mutant, so he would probably join the X-Men.
Have they said he's a mutant in this?
I don't think they did.
Because I know they said Ms. Marvel was a mutant.
Yeah.
Huh.
Even though she isn't, but.
Yeah.
No, I think there was some controversy about that about she being a mutant, and that's why she kind of had it's like a magical power thing that she has, kind of like Captain Marvel from the other thing they have, because they had kind of had a body stretching controversy, weird thing happening with the culture and things like that. So they didn't go with the other way.
No, I didn't like that at all. The only thing I said, because I played the Avengers game, the one by Square Enix before it went under. That had a really good interpretation of Miss Marvel, and the whole stretchy thing. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. You can have it. You can have her be what she is, which is an Inhuman. It's not a problem. If you want to introduce mutants, fine, but Miss Marvel is not the one to do it with.
The funny, I don't think they'll do Inhumans. Inhumans is weird. Even when I see them in the cartoons, I'm like, eh.
Do you know what the funny thing is, Cap? Is that when they introduced the Inhumans, they were actually supposed to be like better versions of the X-Men.
They
suck.
And he's one of the Inhumans.
They suck.
They had.
He is, yeah.
He's one of the Inhumans. It's just, I think they
dies in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I know, but they've got a massive problem in that. There are so many things and so many factions. Even the trailer for Doomsday, it's like, here are the X-Men, there are the Thunderbolts, here are the Avengers, there's the new event. It's just like people are just gonna be like, so how many teams are there in any of these things now? And there's new X-Men, there's old X-Men. Just coming back quickly to Spider-Man, just if we can speak slightly more spoilery. The idea, because the trailers, I was like, well, who's the bad guy in this? Scorpion's the bad guy. It's like, yeah, whatever. So, the bad guy is Jean Grey, and as you find, there are reasons why she is like the bad guy, and it's kind of like one of these things where so many films nowadays.
Why is Jean bad? She's a sweetheart.
We don't have to give the spoilers for that, but there is no other main villain in this, basically. And along the way, they find way because of her ability to. Like they show this in the trailer, where someone is controlling them telepathically, and that's Jean Grey, right? And so it means that you.
But Jean can't control the Hulk, right? Am I right, Dave? She can control the Hulk, right?
She does. She does.
Well, kind of. She kind of can. She can control Dr. Green, but can she control Hulk? No.
Yeah, because like even Professor can't do that. Even Professor can't control the Hulk.
So if it's what you're thinking, David, is that when he was Doc Green Banner, yeah, absolutely fine. But you saw Hulk pushed her out.
True. But
Like,
either way, so what I was saying on that point though is that it meant that you could have a fight with Spider-Man and the Hulk, and the Punisher and the Hulk, and Scorpion and the Hulk, and it's like, but none of these were like the bad guy. It meant you had a cause for action, but there wasn't really a bad guy. It was kind of like comparable to Civil War with Baron Zemo, where it's like, well, what kind of he didn't really do much as a villain. He didn't stand out as a villain just because they had fights between the Avengers themselves. And so this movie will kind of stand as like, well, they introduce a character, same as they introduced Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, and by the end of the movie, it's like, well, okay, so they're not bad guys. So it's like you've got the bad guys, but now they're not the bad guys. So it lacked a standout bad guy because of that.
I agree. That's why I felt it was a good, not a great film, because it was because of that reason. Like I was saying on the way home as well, I said the same things. Like of all the plethora of rogues in Spider-Man's gallery, choosing Jean as the introduction as part of mutants, it's not the best way to do it. You know, because again, I refer to it again in the game.
Everyone loves Jean. Why would you take her? Everyone likes Jean.
In the Spider-Man game, you've got Mr. Negative, who brings out the darker parts of a person. He can do that to people. So if it were me, and this is just my thoughts anyway, not going fully into spoilers, like the city seems to love Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And what happens in the film that he's going a bit cuckoo for Cocoa Pops? Maybe have him, have people seeing that, they're going, oh shit, he nearly killed Scorpion. That's not good. Okay, so and you see what I mean? They have that plot point, and then they drop it. They drop it so quickly. I'm like, no, do another one like that. Make the city almost turn on him. Yeah. Like have the city's loved him. Now we're starting to see, oh shit, he's nearly attacked and he put a police officer in the hospital. He nearly killed Scorpion, and now he's done this. We don't trust, and Jameson can then go on his thing of,
I agree.
Spider-Man nearly killed.
Because,
would the officer agree? No, she wouldn't.
Oh my! And also, here's a problem with what they had happen, because even the tank thing at the beginning, and then it turns out that there's an old lady and Jean Grey's just controlling her. How many cars got flipped over? Like Jean Grey literally probably killed about 40 people in that chase sequence.
Oh, it's a Falcon and Winter Soldier thing. Oh, you got to stop calling them terrorists. They are terrorists.
Yeah.
She hurt and killed people.
Yeah, loads of people probably died because of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a funny thing about that, because like then Sam reprimands John Walker for killing the one guy, and it's like, but they've been doing it all along, and what are you doing?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like Marvel. I liked it, but at the same point, you've got to stop giving us sympathetic villains. Give us a villain.
I know.
Like do
a good sympathetic villain, or actually do a good one.
Like Sentry was kind of a good villain character to have
for one scene.
Because he has that darker side, so you can kind of get the sympathy thing behind it, because this guy has no control of his powers. Someone like Jean or what were they called, the Flag Smashers or whatever, you've got to stop doing villains that are sympathetic. Actually have a villain.
Yes, I agree.
Stop giving like Spider-Man's plethora of villains. As I said, Lizard is sympathetic.
who
He's
was
just a
the villain?
scientist that wanted to regrow his arm. Morbius was a vampire who got that completely by fucking accident. You wouldn't see him giving Kingpin a big, "Oh, it's okay, Kingpin. It's absolutely fine. I will be your friend now."
Why didn't they have King? They could have introduced or just planted the idea of Kingpin into this and set up for like a later film. But also, who was that? Who was the villain that right at the beginning of the movie that's in like one scene? Who was
Oh, you mean the guy in the big red, the red suit and that?
like the big guy that he?
Yeah,
like,
I thought that was Tombstone.
was it
I thought it was Tombstone,
Tombstone
when I first saw it,
Spider-Man?
because I could only think Tombstone
It was.
or it was. I was right.
Oh my god! What was
Okay,
the
you're gonna
idea
have to
of
do
that?
more
It's like,
spoilers
oh,
then.
we just have a cameo for a character for like 30 seconds.
Okay, you're gonna have to spoil the movie for me and tell me why is Gene the bad guy.
Okay.
Because yeah, I'll tell you, Cap.
Okay.
I'll tell you. Do you mind, David, if I tell
Go
it?
for it. Go for it.
Okay, so it all starts with the death of John Connor. You see, Arnold kills John Connor in the beginning of the movie. What, you think I'm going to tell him straight up? No, fuck that.
Oh no! I don't mind. So basically, they introduce the idea that she's got a sister, which she might have. I just don't remember it from any of the X-Men I watched. And oh my god! In fact, it's shit. It's shit. It's so shit. It's unbelievably shit. Right? So she has a sister called Sarah. They both have these same powers, but her sister has got more control of it. You see them sat in a park together, and suddenly they're like trying to practice. How can you take over for someone? But you can, but it's like, I can only do it for 33 feet. You know, and if not, but if you take over someone 30 feet away and they're next to someone, you can jump from person to person and take over people, right? That's important. Suddenly, loads of like FBI or whoever turn up, you know, and they start and they tackle the sister and they're going to arrest her, right? And suddenly the sister is like, I need to get my sister away. So she takes over Jean Grey and makes her run away. You have the ability to take over people's bodies. Take over the people that are arresting you and just let them fight it out amongst themselves.
Yep.
You have the ability.
Also, question: Why
person
is
that's
the
putting you
FBI
in
suddenly
handcuffs-
coming in and taking two girls? Why is the FBI suddenly coming in and snatching children off the street?
They want. There's some mysterious organisation, and this is a bit shit. It's the guy who was in an actor who was in the show Severance, and he's like, I'm a good guy. I run a agency of some kind. I forget their name. And
Damage Control.
Damage Control. They're called Damage Control, and Spider-Man thinks they're good guys. And just as Jean Grey's about to get to the sister, Spider-Man helps them capture Jean Grey. And Spider-Man speaks to the guy from Severance, and he's like, "Oh, what happened?" And she was in my mind. Oh, because Spider-Man said she mentioned a name called Sarah. It was almost Martha level of shit, right? She mentioned someone called Sarah, and he's like, "Oh, I lost a friend called Sarah, and she must have like picked it up from my brain." And then half an hour later, Zendaya is just like, "Yeah, she took over my brain, and I didn't remember anything." And Spider-Man's like, "Wait, but he said he remembered something. He was lying. Because of this one case example, I now know the absolute truth." Right? It doesn't work that way. And
It
so,
doesn't.
and so then it turns out that they're trying to get her psychic ability to jump from person to person. They've killed the sister, it would seem, or at least it would seem. And so then in the end, Spider-Man helps Jean Grey, and there's a weird... I was literally zoning out. I really like the film. It's going to sound like I'm shitting on it now. But for some reason, she had a mental connection with Spider-Man where Aunt May suddenly gives Jean Grey like motherly advice, and then suddenly they're friends at the end.
What is going on
I don't
here?
know. I'm not selling it well. I enjoyed the movie.
Like David said, I thought it was okay as well. It's just at that point I was like, do you know what, David? This is going to sound really stupid of me. I sat there, and as soon as they saw, it's a corporation called Damage Control, I literally went, He's a bad guy.
Yeah,
And literally it's like-
yeah.
Because I'm also a little bit fatigued with Marvel making a corporation. Oh, this corporation wants to help. Oh, turns out they're evil.
Yes.
We Marvel, you've done this. Stop it. You've done it.
And also, have you guys seen Severance?
I've had a Severance, but not seen
Right,
Severance.
well, but literally, so they cast this guy from it, and he's a good actor. But it's like, oh, he plays like a bad guy in charge of a corporation. And then it's like, oh, now he's playing a bad guy in charge of a corporation.
I genuinely have to go.
Oh, no, guys, I'll wrap it up here anyway, because we're running over. But Dave, where can they find you?
Find me on YouTube and Twitch at the Yellow Duck Tavern. Come and see my adventures and shenanigans on my live streams and various Let's Plays.
Okay, Cap.
You can find me on Zone Deeds. I sing it dance, I throw myself in a bucket, and I work with puppets. And there's a Mulan sketch, Mulan Unbridged, the most unhinged thing that I ever written, and I say a lot of weird stuff in it, so go check that out. And then next week there will be a Looney Tunes episode starring Dave as Daffy, so go look forward to that as well. And my geeky recommendation of the week is Spy X Family. It's not really that great, but it's wholesome, and I kind of watch it for the plot. And the plot is this.
Nice. Okay, that's the plot. Right,
Nice.
behind you. Right, and I'm David. Follow Geek Battle Gaming. My recommendation is watch Spider-Man, because then they'll make more of them. Take care, everyone, and we're off the air.